Hello, wives, future wives, and also lovers. If you are watching this in my Facebook group, welcome back to another Wife Side video. I am Nicole Hansen, a military marriage and wife coach, just out here trying to help bring the divorce rate DOWN. And for today's topic, I think it's probably one of the most serious topics that I've ever talked about on this channel. And with May being Mental Health Awareness Month, I feel like this is the perfect time to kind of talk about how mental health may be affecting your marriage. Now, I do want to give this disclaimer. I am not a licensed therapist or a psychiatrist yet. However, I am working towards getting my master's degree in marriage therapy because I do want to be able to tap into some of the things that I've seen with some of my clients, some of the wives that I've worked with. I really want to be able to go deeper than what I currently do as a coach. But I definitely feel like it is important for us to talk about how mental health may be affecting your marriage. Again, this is my viewpoint, and if you are struggling with any type of mental health disorder or issue, then I definitely want to let you know that there are so many resources out there, whether you are a military spouse or you are just a regular civilian spouse. There's so many resources out there and people that are wanting to help you. So I definitely want you to seek their help. As a coach, I am more so focused on how can we get you better for in the present, right? More so setting goals, being an accountability partner and things of such. So if that's something that you feel you need, I can help you in that area, but I am not a licensed therapist yet. And hopefully one day I actually am going to become one and I can help you out. With that being said, let's kind of get into the video. So again, I think that mental health is very important, and then we all should definitely pay attention to it because it's one of the things that from the beginning of a marriage, you may not actually notice in a person. Most people, I won't say most people, but some people don't notice that in their spouse, right? Because in the beginning stages of marriage or in a relationship, it is all like butterflies and sunshine, butterflies and sunshine, right? It is, I am so in love with you. It's the newly wed phase for a reason, right? And nothing really matters in that phase, right? You're trying to do and show this person that you are their person and they are your person. So some of the things that we kind of deal with in our day-to-day life is kind of put on the back burner because we are in this spot that is so fulfilling and we are so happy. But as time goes on, after you get married and you start to live your life, years go by, days go by, months go by, and you actually kind of fall back into whatever type of mental health disorder you have, whether it's just depression, anxiety, you're dealing with trauma from your past life, whatever the case may be, it may start to come out and that could start to affect your marriage. And you may see this and like, we're arguing a little bit more. I'm not as secure as I really feel like I am. And whatever has brought about that depression or the anxiety previously may start to come out because your spouse may not even notice, but they may be triggering those things, right? So I just wanted to come on this video and just say some of the things that we can kind of do to help the mental health within our marriage, right? I cannot diagnose you with mental health. I cannot say like do this and it will help, but these are just some of the tips that you could potentially try. One is recognize within yourself that you may be battling with it. And there's so many resources and people out there that can actually help you understand if you're battling with this. And I think that that's the first thing, because some people may be in denial or may not even know that these things that your spouse is doing is triggering you from a past relationship or a past situation or childhood or whatever the case may be. I feel like over the years, mental health has really became like this big thing and people are focusing more on it, whether it's in work life or relationships and stuff like that. So just make sure that you recognize that it could be something that you are struggling with or dealing with that you need to have fixed. It's very important for us to understand that we cannot give our best to others if we are not our best. So you have to recognize it within yourself that, okay, maybe this is something that I'm dealing with and I need to fix it. And then in turn, that's going to help your marriage. Secondly, another tip is be honest with your spouse. Like, be upfront. It's some things that we need to talk to our spouse about. And I feel like for me, I talk to my spouse about everything. Like, something with my husband, like, babe, you do not need to tell me that. But we need to be honest and open with our spouse. And if it's something that you already know you battle with, just be upfront, and it's going to be able to help your spouse understand, like, okay, maybe this is why, and maybe they can talk in a different way, or they can react in a different way, right? So it's not something that's triggering you, which is going to cause like the depression and the anxiety and things of such, right? And then the third one would be allow your spouse to support you. Like, sometimes we feel like we have to be, whether male or woman, we have to be like, I can handle it my own. No, this is my issue. I don't need you to support me in this, or whatever the case may be. But it's important for us to understand that we need to allow our spouse to support us. And if that's our spouse coming to our sessions with us, our therapy sessions with us, or if it's your spouse saying like, hey, I've been noticing this about you, maybe you should go talk to somebody, just take them up on their offer. I know sometimes that those things can be expensive, or sometimes your insurance may cover it. So just take them up on their offer. And also too, just allow your spouse to support you in this situation. And then in turn, we also need to support our spouses if our spouses are the ones that's going through it, right? We always want to be like open with our spouse. I am a firm believer that like there is one person on this earth that we should be 100% honest with, and it is our spouse. So for me, when I think of mental health and some of the things that people struggle with, and even myself, like when I went through a few hard times in my life, I recognized in myself, no, I didn't have someone have to tell me, even though I know I didn't have to have anyone tell me that, hey, you're a little depressed, or you're depressed, or you may be anxious. Like, I already knew that within myself. And my husband and I, we kind of had those discussions, right? It's not something that I deal with on a day-to-day basis. But when someone actually told me, it also opened the light for me to be like, okay, that's probably why I'm a little bit more irritable. That's probably why I'm more tired. That's probably why I don't have the energy to go out and do the things that I used to do, because I'm battling with something that is deeper within me and my mind and my soul, right? One thing that you can also do is I say this because it has helped me more than even a therapist, right? It is journaling. Journal. Because even when we go talk to therapists, not to knock therapists, because if that was the case, I wouldn't be even becoming a therapist. But journaling is one of those things that is just you in the paper, right? Nobody, especially as adults, like, when you're like a young a teenager or whatever the case may be, you're wanting to hide your journal so nobody is ever going to read it, or whatever the case may be. But like, you can pour yourself into journaling, right? I love journaling. I talk to my clients, each client, whether just a wife or a couple, I'm like, you all need to journal. I'm actually starting to work on like this journal for married couples, right? So because I think that journaling is so powerful. It is very therapeutic. And when I was going through my hard times, like that's what I turned to. I really did turn to journaling, and it helped me get through. Because I'm typically like 90% of the time I'm just a happy person, and I want to give happiness, right? But I do have those moments, or I did have those moments where I was sad. I didn't want to do nothing. I could only focus on what was causing the depression or the anxiety. And I just really want us to understand that those things can affect the marriage, right? You don't want to be bothered. So that is probably affecting your intimacy. It's affecting the communication that you and your spouse may be having. You're probably dropping the ball on certain things that you used to do or you did frequently, and now, like, whether it's cooking, right, or cleaning, right? You used to be the one that provided food for your family or made sure the house was clean, and then if you're not doing those things anymore, like, imagine like your spouse, like, what's wrong with you, and then they're asking you what's wrong with you, and you're just like, nothing, and it just creates those moments when you're arguing, right? So just always try to know yourself, right? In the military, we always say, we have one of our leadership principles, and it's my favorite one. I'm not even kidding. Like, it's my favorite leadership principle. Know yourself and seek self-improvement, right? And this can apply to anybody in life, whether you're in the military or not, it can apply to you. Know yourself and seek self-improvement. And I know myself. I know that I'm a happy person. I know that I love to give. And when I'm not in that space, I'm just like, okay, let me take a step back. What is this, right? Let me recognize what it is, and then let me seek improvement. And 9 out of 10 is like, I need a journal. I need to write it down. I believe in the Lord. Not everybody does, and I'm not trying to push religion on anybody, but I turn to the Lord. Like, I get heavy in him, like on a day-to-day basis. I do pray. I may read my Bible here and there, but in those moments, I really, really, really turn to what I know is a healing, right? So I just really want you to pay attention when it's all said and done to your individual mental health. How is your mental health? Because if you don't do that, it could affect the mental health of your marriage, right? And I look at it this way, right? It's three people that have, or three things that have mental health in a marriage: you, your spouse, in your marriage. And if you or your spouse's mental health is not good, it's automatically going to affect the mental health of the marriage. Again, I am not a licensed therapist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I am a military marriage and wife coach. And I just feel like this is an important topic. So just take what I said and use it to where you feel best. And if you want to know more about this, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'll have my email below. I'll have my website below, where you can find out some of the programs that I do for wives and future wives, and then also as a couple. So whether you are in the military or not, definitely would be willing to help you. Again, I am Laco Hansen, and I thank you for tuning into this video. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you like it. Please don't forget to subscribe if you have not subscribed already. And you can always share these videos. Make sure you come back for some more. Until next time, BYE.